Morning, guys. It's a lovely morning actually. Just on the way into the studio to re-record a lot of the videos that we've got on kind of the front end of the How to Build a Business That Works site, because we put it out for beta testing on Friday, and really just to get some feedback. And I put it out on a couple of the different channels, and a few people were kind enough to really give us some great feedback. So thank you to Gordon McAdam, thank you to Christian Rodwell, thank you to Oliver, to name but a few, and thank you to all the other guys that came back and gave us that initial bit of feedback. And the initial feedback was that, listen, we know you, John, and we really love the work that you're doing, but that's not really coming across in the website on those first few pages. So rather than take that as a negative, I took that as a huge positive, because in putting it out as a beta test, it just meant that we now know what we must do in order to make it completely obvious to someone that doesn't know us what it is that we do, which is effectively showing you how to build an entrepreneurial business, one that works, one that creates that income. So yeah, powerful week. Had a couple of one-to-ones as well. Met an old friend of mine yesterday down in North London that has hand-built a company from literally his coffee table 6 years ago into a business where it now turns over somewhere in the region of 6 million. He's got 30 staff that work for him. He's really, really doing well, but he's frustrated. And the reason that he's frustrated is that about 18 months ago, he had a massive worldwide organisation buy into his company. So that dropped a huge amount of resource into the organisation, but now he's got the corporate handcuffs, because he's got to report back to them about what he's doing with X and Y and Z, and that's actually now slowing his growth down. So even when you see someone that's doing really well, which he is doing phenomenally well, the frustration now is that because of the tie into the corporate handcuffs, which, let's face it, if you're building a business and you're building it to sell, have an exit strategy at some stage, you are going to look to sell it out. Well, he's kind of done part one, with part two being that maybe another 2 years' time he'll sell out altogether. But the early part of the buyout, where they bought a significant chunk of his business, has meant that they now want an input into what happens. They want him to hold him to account on what he's spending on X, Y, and Z. And whilst he's done a phenomenal job of putting in all the architecture, building it up and getting, well, over 7,000 clients, he now can't grow it as fast as he wants to grow it because of those corporate handcuffs. So it just goes to show that the big machines, they're like an oil tanker. They just turn so slowly, and he's struggling with that frustration that he wants to do certain things that they don't necessarily agree with. So I'm sharing that with you for a reason, and the reason being that as you grow your organisation, as you start to build a big company, you are inevitably going to have lots of people that work with you or for you, and that is the challenge that most people who start a business don't realise is going to be a crucial component as they start to succeed and get it to a level where it's turning over a big chunk of money and it's earning them a big chunk of money. So interesting. I'll keep you informed on how we're going to turn that around, because I'm still formulating in my mind how we can help him to communicate with them that he can actually grow faster if they give him a little bit more leeway, because that is the true answer to that conundrum. So here we are, Wednesday morning, going into the office. I'm going to shoot a whole pile more videos, and I would love if you could have a little look at this through the course of the day, and you're going to see pages move and the site literally morph in front of you. And I know that a lot of the business owners that I've spoken to over the years that have been through our trainings, they want to get their website pretty much done before they publish it. Well, the thing is, put it out there, morph it live so that people can actually see it starting to take shape. So that's it for me for the moment. I'll give you another update tomorrow morning.